The council members have it in their packet. And while I've talked so much, Mr. Chapman, you want to read it?
Title of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, prohibits discrimination in housing and declares it a national policy to provide within constitutional limits for fair housing in the United States. And whereas the principle of fair housing is not only national law and national policy, but a fundamental human concept and entitlement for the Americans, and whereas the National Fair Housing Law during the month of April provides an opportunity for all Americans to recognize that complete success in the goal of equal housing opportunity can only be accomplished with the help and cooperation of all Americans. Now therefore we, the City of Grapeland, the City Council of the City of Grapeland, do proclaim April as Fair Housing Month in the City of Grapeland, and do hereby urge all citizens of this locality to become aware of and support the Fair Housing Law. And witness now, we offer fixed our seats.
Thank you, Councilman Chapman. I'm sure our Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Nichols, would probably like to make a comment in reference to this. But this is something that takes place just about every month, every year in the month of April. You asked the question, why in the month of April? The month of April has always been, well, Ms. Nichols, you want to talk about that?
Just the month of April has always been Fair Housing Month, and we treat everybody the same.
Also, this was brought on by, as I told you earlier, some of the HUD discriminatory acts that took place, and by some of the lawsuits that were implemented that caused HUD to have to do these things. This also, with us issuing a proclamation, allows us to be eligible for HUD grants, because we are meeting the Affirmative Fair Housing Act. When you follow the protocol that they've laid out in the settlement with the state of Texas, then you're eligible to receive funds for housing within the state of Texas. Any questions about that? I'll entertain a motion that we...
I'll make a motion that we accept April as our Fair Housing Month.
Is there a second? Second. Both moved and second that we accept April as our Fair Housing Month, and that we acknowledge the resolution that was presented. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Next is going to be an item that consider approved monthly reports, profit and loss, budget versus actual and balance sheet. As you look at your budget, as you look at our expenditures, and I'll say this, they are a little raggedy. But we have some expenditures, unexpected expenditures, and we have some expenditures that we are trying to address. We have some issues that have happened in not only one or two departments, but just about all of our departments. As you all know, we brought the judge up to par on all of her software and all the equipment she needed. Mike, and I got to go to bat for Mike, he's had several breakdowns. We got a tractor broke down now. Some things that have happened, we had to replace 2 lift stations, and I could go on and on and on. So this has been kind of a bad year, and our monthly profit reports of profit and loss, it's going to be a little shaky. I mean, we're not in the red. We're not like most cities. So, but I don't want anybody leaving here saying, well, Grapeland is broke. That is not true. We do have 2 areas of rainy day money. And I'm not going to talk about the amounts, but we have 2 areas of rainy day money. But we do, and this is something, when the auditor came in, we do need to try to keep our profit and loss within a certain amount of percentages and figures. We are high in some percentages, and we are low in other percentages. Was that a mismanagement or a looking at the budget? If I could forecast what could happen during a future year, they would have me probably forecasting the weather. But I can't do that. I can only look at what we have, look at where we've gone through, And as you all know, when we do the budget, we try to look at the last 3 years and do a projection. This year has been exceptional. As you all know, we've had over 20-something thousand sales and use tax come in, and where we've been having 11, 17, 15, but we've been in the 20s for the last, what, 6, 7 months, which is good, but kind of unusual. I think the Secretary of State's giving us our money back. Don't y'all broadcast it. And I'd ask the council to look at it and vote that we approve our profit and loss budget. After we get through figuring and looking at it and totaling it up, seeing where we are on percentages. While we're looking at percentages and talking about increases, we did get a letter from the Public Utility Commission of the state of Texas that our city would probably receive a 1.06 increase in funds. That's not great news, but it's good news. Of course, we got to pay it, so I don't know whether you consider that good news. Any questions? Any? And while the council is here reviewing the profit and loss, let me make an apology. I apologize for people having to stand. I apologize for crowded areas. I've apologized already during another council meeting of our facilities, and we just don't have the facilities that will accommodate a large crowd or have the proper facilities that the councilman could be, comfortable in their setting. We all crowd around this one table and unable to stretch material out. We looked at the water well, I think, at the last council meeting, and we had paper all over here, and how can you look at and review something when you're in a tight, but we're doing the best we can. But I do apologize. And maybe one day, when that young man who's sitting over there in the corner become mayor, we might have a city hall. And he'll have plenty of room to conduct his business and get things done for the big city of Grapeland.
It'll happen.
Somebody was joking with me the other day and said, when you go out of office, they're going to put up a real nice facility. I'll be happy because I'm invested here. Is there a motion on the table?
I'll make a motion to approve the profit and loss budget.
Is there a second? Been both moved and second that the profit and loss budget versus the action balance sheet be approved. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.